What's up, and welcome back to Pin Pals, the podcast about enamel pins. I'm your host, Eric Roman from Warrior Pins, and I interview pin makers to better understand their journey through the pin game. We talk about the wins and losses, all the exciting moments, and all the challenging times. From coming up with ideas to actually producing pins and getting them in hand, we talk about it all right here in this podcast. Quick shout out to my supporters on Buy Me a Coffee for helping me with the podcast. We're rolling deep right now with 6 members. We got BB Create, we got VinPin, we got Pin Lord, Tater Tot Pin Shop, Pin My Ride, and of course, Pins by Charlie. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much. Your monthly contributions go a long way in keeping this podcast alive. If you feel like directly supporting the podcast, check out the Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes. I mean, you can support the podcast for as little as $1. You can go as much as $5, $10, $20, $100. Buy Me a Coffee is the place to be if you want exclusive behind-the-scenes content, if you want input on future episodes, if you want to be closer connected to the podcast. That is a fun way to experience the podcast, so go ahead and check that out. This week's episode, I hate to say it, but this week's episode is the Season 2 finale. It's been an incredible run, and we've come so far together. We've come so far together. But unfortunately, the journey must come to an end. We've successfully launched 14 episodes over the span of 3 months. Every week, we came at you with a brand new episode, diving deep into the world of enamel pins with all these incredible pin makers. That in itself, I think, is worth celebrating, and I'll probably do that this weekend. But I mean, the fact that we had people coming back every week, to me, is just incredible. The fact that we had people supporting the podcast via Buy Me a Coffee, again, incredible. I mean, I feel like this podcast really grew this season tremendously. We hit over 1,000 followers on Instagram. We have over 50 subscribers on YouTube. I just feel so fortunate enough to have established a platform that allows pin makers to share their story. You know, I've also learned so much and grew myself as a pin maker and individual just by interviewing everyone. All these interactions, it's just so inspiring at the end of it all. And I mean, I've said this last week, but this is a 5-star rated podcast because you guys rated it 5 stars. And that's just amazing. That's just incredible. I guess what I'm just trying to say is thank you. Plain and simple, thank you. So today's episode is a fantastic listen. I wouldn't leave you guys hanging like that. I chop it up with Carlos from Data Crew, and man, oh man, it turned into an episode full of advice, tips, and insight into the pin making world. If you're new to the pin game, or even if you're a seasoned veteran, I mean, Carlos has been in the game for a while, so he knows a thing or two. He brought some heat. We talk about life as a pin maker, taking losses when products don't come out as expected, how Carlos and his pin brand can consistently release pins every week. I mean, they're releasing stuff every Friday. How crazy is that? So we talk about that. You know, we talk about burnout, staying consistent. We also talk about Instagram and a marketing strategy that kind of works for him, and I started adopting it myself, and I must say, the results have been pretty good. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. Also, Data Crew, Carlos, is also 1/3 of the Pin Lab show. You know, I've been talking about it for the past couple episodes because the past couple guests have also been members of the Pin Lab show. So Cooletra Creations, BB Create, and Data Crew make up the Pin Lab show, which is basically a monthly virtual pin show. Very similar to Patches and Pins Expo, except it's right on your phone on the Pop Shop Live app, and you don't have to go anywhere. You can attend the show from the comfort of your own home. But anyway, we talk about that towards the end of this episode. Again, this is the last episode of Season 2. I hope you've enjoyed yourself throughout all these weeks. I hope you've learned a thing or two, maybe implemented a thing or two, and saw positive change in your pin shop. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know, without further ado, enjoy my conversation with my pin pal, Data Crew. Welcome to Pin Pals, Carlos. How is it going?
It's going good, Eric. It's going very well, man.
uh,
Glad to be on the podcast, man.
yeah, happy to have you here. I know we've been talking for a while, and I just kind of knew you by association with Nostalgia Vault. You know, he name dropped
Yeah.
you in the very first episode, and from there, just kind of, you were always on my radar, so to speak. Not like keeping tabs on my radar, but just as like, oh, another dope pin maker out there on the West Coast. So it's awesome to finally to have you here and talk to you here. And for anyone listening to the podcast, Carlos is in his pin room, and it just there's like little storage boxes everywhere to the organizing to just keep it all organized, and I love it. This is really cool. So if you need to go check out the podcast over on YouTube and take a look at this, but yes, Carlos, why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners?
Well, my name is Carlos. Once again, I'm from the West Coast. I'm from LA. Basically, almost you can say born and raised. I've been here since I was 2 years old. This is my hobby, you can say, but I have a actually not 9:95. It's more like 6 to 8 o'clock day job. And then after that, we do this fun pin game stuff at nighttime. So, so sorry if something's ever delayed or anything. There's only so much I can do, guys.
Hey man, that's the reality of the pin game nowadays, It's
Yeah.
kudos to you if you're able to make it like a full-time hustle, but for the most part, I think like 90% of us we're working that day job, and whatever free time we have, we're making it happen. So tell us about Data Crew. When did this start?
Well, I started in 2017, and I had a different brand before that I did some other stuff, but I kind of sold that off and decided to do something new. More pop culture, more stuff that I really, really enjoyed, more artist based. Since I was young, I always loved art. I see a lot of different artists. Just so talented. And I bought a lot of prints and stuff like that, and I was like, hey, I want to do something. I want to do something different. So like I said, I started a brand, but now doing data, we're doing a lot of different type of stuff. And honestly, I know I've seen all your podcasts, and usually I see a lot of brands, they have a niche, but to me, I'm doing what I like. So it could be anywhere between Ninja Turtles to Star Wars to we're talking about skulls, photography, it's just, anything that I feel like people are going to love.
Mm-hmm. And that's really cool. Like, it might sound like you're kind of all over the place, but I think it still falls under the umbrella of like pop culture or like a specific kind of style when we're talking like the skull artwork. That's a thing. Like, people, that's all they do is make pins that look similar to that. But you're tapping into like these specific niches. And I think that's cool. Because I think it works for your brand. Everything just seems to like flow. Nothing seems out of place. So I think that's really cool. What were you doing before you started Data?
I was doing like more sports stuff. I didn't want to make the same mistake, but it was kind of like I did sports stuff, but then I would go to like left side to go to political stuff, and I just felt like honestly, I felt like too all over the place. So I decided, hey, you know what? Let me just get a fresh start. You can say kind of technically rebrand and do something new, and just keep it pop culture type stuff that I really really enjoy.
Kind of like a merch creative artist
Yeah,
making
yeah.
stuff, but it was just more focused on sports in the beginning. Okay, I gotcha.
And it was more based on t-shirts and stuff, so that's what I used to before. I started doing little sprinkles of pins, but I just decided to do brand new setup, and do data.
Okay. That's really cool. Okay, so you have a little bit of like relevant history going into making pins from a business side to a product side and stuff like that. Okay, so you're not coming in this like without knowing anything. You have a taste for the game, so to
Yeah.
speak. Can you remember like what that moment was? Did you see a pin that like was able to resonate with you? Did you see like the culture like come up? Like, what was it?
To be honest, what really, a friend of mine, the partner, to me he's a godfather of the pin game, is his name's Grizz. He used to own a store called Hutch online, and he had a physical store, but he started a brand called Little Bullies. And Little Bullies, I mean, he's the one that I thank him a lot, because back then, this is what, like, I don't feel old, but like 2015, 2016, he was already doing pins. I mean, he was like It's funny because I order 100 or 200. This guy was ordering 500 back then. And yeah, and he just he got me in contact with the manufacturer that I still use to this date, and it's a learning experience. But he basically opened my eyes and like, hey, Carlos, look it, I'm doing this. I'm like, dude, you're selling that many, and it's cool. Like, and his pens were really, really quality stuff. He even just put it this way. I heard a little, not from him, but he did well, I know for sure he did an official Sriracha pen. And this is Sriracha. I heard a rumor that they really were like, all right, dude, do a pen. And I'm not going to, I heard rumors about licensing, how much it was. It was basically nothing. And, but it just tells you he sold probably, thousands of pens of Sriracha. But the quality of the pens and the stuff he was doing with it was, very impressive. And that opened up my eyes to, I was like, you know what, I think I can do this too myself. And I'm just glad that he was able to give me I think the most important thing is the contact, because I've seen a lot of your episodes. Everybody's all like, yeah, you got to start with third-party vendors. And there's no way you're going to make money when you're with third-party vendors, especially if you do wholesale or something else,
Yeah, for sure. So I'm guessing you already had some like manufacturers already in your Rolodex, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you knew who you had a couple contacts, and this guy
Yeah.
Grizz hooked it up, and that's really cool. So what was it like? Walk me through like the first. Can you remember your first pin? What was that process like?
Luckily, like I said, I was already working with artwork. So when you have already artwork, an AI file or something really good, it goes to them. I know there's a lot of manufacturers. I mean, a lot of brands that do, very detailed proofs. But if you have an AI file and you're very, very, simplify the stuff, send it out to them, and of course, send you a proof bag. You check it out, and make sure everybody, you get one of these to make sure that the color is correct. And because I made a mistake and the color wasn't the color and it came back at a different color. So
yeah,
so it's a learning experience. But we sent that out, got that back, and we started our first pin. Our first pin on data was a ping pong paddle. Don't ask. You're gonna laugh, but during my day job, I worked for FedEx in the day job, and there was one. It was a cool place that I picked up at that I usually take my lunch break there, and they had a ping pong table. So every lunch break, I would go and play ping pong with the guys. So I was like, I fell in love with ping pong. So I was like, hey, let's do ping pong. That's pretty cool. So we started there, and then we started exploring, all our other options that we've done, after that.
Yeah, that's cool. Were there any hiccups with it? Was it just straight up like
No, everything was fine, until you start getting more, it's simple chrome plated with red paint. You can't with white, ping pong ball. So you couldn't really make any mistakes with that. But when you start getting with more complicated stuff, that's when, manufacturer tells you, oh yeah, this color, this is a Pantone color, and then you get it and it's not the one you want, or it's not even close to being that color.
Tell me a little bit about that pin or that experience.
I can't remember what it was. I forgot what color it was, but you look at the, like you can't trust the manufacturer. Just put it that way. You need to definitely do your homework, get that Pantone book. Yeah, it might cost you $100, but it's either you spend $100 now or you're gonna spend a couple $100 later on a mistake. So definitely my advice to new makers or anything like that is definitely check your Pantone book. Even Google it if you have to, and make sure that those are the right colors, But yeah, it was a $200 mistake.
Oh man! So you had to pay to remake them, or you just got stuck with those pins and you're just like,
I got stuck with those pins, and I was like, well, it's a cool design. I need to remake it,
Yeah.
So I had to do that. I can't remember what design exactly was, but it was something that I know it was one of like one of our first 10 pins that we did.
Okay.
So I was like, great.
Damn. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I had one of my pins, like the enamel would just come off like it was paint, like in like a whole piece. Like it was really weird. So that was kind of like a loss. And then I made another pin for a YouTube series that I had co-created with one of my buddies of mine. He would just go on and just like drink a soda and review it in under a minute. And he was like, he's a character. He's funny, witty, so like whatever he says is going to be funny. I made pins. I'm like, all right, this is going to be awesome. I don't know what I was expecting for a bunch of people to buy them. I don't know why, but like I've definitely taken a loss when it comes to making pins and they either not sell or something happens. Let me ask you, because like I don't know what to do with them. I give them away. Sometimes I'll just hide them somewhere. What do you do with your pins?
I'll be honest with you, like some of them I give away, or most of the time, if you think, especially in the beginning, you're learning, it's like, kind of like music. Once might be a hit, the other one might be a flop, and that flop, you keep it and you're going to might have to discount it, just like clothing,
Yeah.
if it says it's not a banger, you might have to say, hey, at least let me make my money back,
Hmm.
so definitely, try to get your money back and put it on the discount, or another thing that, that I know we'll probably move into later on is, I do the show with the guys called the Pin Lab Show. So we'll do some blind bags, we'll put like a dope one and something maybe that you're like, oh, it's okay, but I know somebody else will like it. And put it in there and, just try to get rid of that inventory,
Yeah. All right. That's smart. I'm take some notes. Maybe I'll do some blind bags to get to move some stuff.
Yeah, man, because it's money just sitting there, and the whole goal is try to get your money back at least, because
Yeah.
it's just money sitting there, it's I saw a documentary with Bobby from the hundreds, and he's walking through his warehouse and he sees they're like, oh, the guy interviewing was like, hey, there's a bunch of shirts, yeah, it's pretty cool. He's like, nope, this is all problems right here, because I need this is money, I need this stuff to be gone. So we definitely, whatever it takes to move, we got to move them.
Yeah. That's interesting that you say that because I've started adopting the I'm buying less pins. Well, for certain designs, I'm buying less so that I'm not sitting on so many of them. It like the cost does go up when that happens, but I'm okay with that if I'm able to move them and not have them sit in a corner for I don't know how
Yeah,
long.
yeah. No, I totally agree. It just depends what we're doing. It depends on the release. But yeah, I mean, if you think like, I mean, like I said, you've done a lot of podcasts and talked to a lot of brands. It's like sometimes you think something is a banger. You're like, yeah, this is gonna sell. And yeah, you only sell half of them or whatever
Yeah.
it is, but it's a risk. Sometimes you got to roll the dice, and sometimes you get stuck with them. But sometimes it does. It's like if you just do 100, you do 100 and see what it does.
Yeah.
To I don't know about your the manufacturer that you're using, but reordering is not that bad either. The price goes down, so might as well pay a little bit more, but then the reorder will be cheaper.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it. It's just like my way of being able to mitigate the risk, because I don't know which way that the coin is going to land.
Exactly.
How do you try and mitigate that risk? Because I'm sure doing this for so long, maybe you've just learned what your audience likes, or being out these shows and like being like really in the heart of like the pin community, which is like out in the West Coast. I feel like you're surrounded by it more. So how do you go forward with a pin design feeling pretty good about it?
Well, when it comes to when we're talking about like it's like categorizing stuff. So like if I know I'm doing maybe like a really really pop culture like Star Wars, or something like a low key pin, or something like that. That I know eventually if I can make a couple hundred, I'd rather honestly make a couple hundred and either number it, limit it if it's going to be limited, and because the cost does go down a lot, you know. But if it's something like we were talking about, like a skull type pin, like something like our logo, right? I'll just do maybe 100 or 150 maybe, but maybe just 100 just because, and I'll now limit it and that's it, because there's more people that probably like the pop culture stuff than they do on the skull stuff. But
Yeah.
sometimes, like you say, sometimes we think a design's not going to be a hit. And like the shirt that I sent you, that photographer one, I was like, oh, I'll do its regular, numbers. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like on that one, we probably sold 300 or 500, on just that pin, but it's better, like you said, just order maybe 100 or a little bit to start off with, and it takes off. You just reorder, you just got to have a manufacturer that's really going to be on your side and help you get that stuff out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But you've been lucky enough to work with the same manufacturer?
Yeah, I have two manufacturers, to be very honest with you.
Okay. Yeah. I think everyone should have multiple.
Yeah, I've used another one, and they do good soft enamel and stuff like that. I got one person that does my bronze 3D type of stuff. So it's just depends the type of pin we're doing and who we're gonna use to do that, you know. But if you have a good relationship and you're spending a lot of money with them monthly, then you know they're gonna take care of you. You know, they're gonna be like, all right, I need this really in 2 weeks, not a month, guys. I need it in 2 weeks, and you know, most of the time they'll work with you and they'll make it happen. You know.
Oh yeah. They'll always work with you for a fee.
No,
No.
no. You know what? I heard somebody had DM me. I think it was Ping Kings. He'd send me a message because he wanted to do let me get it for you real quick. So this pen, we got it done like in a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Like a week and a half it got done and it shipped to me and I got it in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And he's all like, dude, how fast? I was like, oh, my manufacturer, you know, if they work with you, they'll make it happen, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just building that relationship, you know, with your manufacturer, you know.
Okay. How many pins do you think you'd say you release on a monthly basis?
I know you DM me and we talked about it, like, hey, how are you releasing stuff every Friday? So it just depends on what we're working on, you know. But luckily, every week we'll release 1 or 3 pins a week, every Friday. But this week we had the low key finale, so we decided to release, that one, you know, that one, variant guys, and we ended up releasing this on Friday. So we released 4 pins in 1 week.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. My head is rattling just thinking of the logistics of all that. Damn, dude.
Yeah, and that's from 2 different manufacturers. But the thing is, to me, and I think I told you this, is like, to me, is to be consistent, you know, in this game, you know. If people see that you're consistently putting good, but the main thing is quality stuff, I think people will stick with you, you know.
Yeah. Dude, that's impressive. I forgot that we were talking in the DMs about that and how you release everything or release on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. How do you just find the time? I struggle just trying to do like just the warrior pin stuff and finding the time. I'd love to know what you're drinking or what you're eating.
The secret is no sleep.
Yeah.
No, you know, honestly, like I usually get like 5 hours of sleep, to be honest with you. Like I said, I get home, eat, take a shower, and you know, we start doing orders and start talking to manufacturers. Luckily, you know, our manufacturers in China, so they, you know, we work, you know, late with them. During the day when we do t-shirts and stuff like that, I actually work with them in the daytime. Luckily, where I work at, my silkscreen manufacturers in my work area. So if I have stuff coming in, I just take it to them, they get it done. And you know, so that works out, you know, that luckily where I'm located in LA, everything's really around me, so we can work, you know, together. And technology makes everything easier, you know, but it's just making the time at night to try to get all this stuff on, you know, trying to figure everything out, get everything organized and say, hey, all right, next week we're going to release this, the next week we're going to release that, you know, and hopefully everything comes through, because, you know, there is delays with shipping, Chinese holidays or our holidays, or,
Yeah.
you know, anything like that, you know.
For sure. Wow. Okay. Follow-up question. What keeps you going? What influences you to keep the grind alive?
What really keeps me going is just the reaction that we get from our customers, our fans, you know, the people that follow us, because I've noticed that a lot the last probably month and a half, especially we're doing more interaction. I'm getting, you know, I have a team that's helping me out with a lot of social media. I was doing a lot of advertising with Instagram. That was really helping me out, especially during the, you know, the whole COVID situation right now. But all of a sudden, we do a post, right? And all of a sudden, I noticed that my interaction started going down. My sales went down 90% because all the traffic was going to Senegal. So yeah, out of the blue, everything just started going to Senegal. So every advertised post I was doing, not the one you do custom and say, hey, I just want to hit LA, I just want to hit up New York or New Jersey, but the ones that are automatically, because you know those automatic ones are supposed to hit up all your followers, friends, and all the other good stuff, right? You know, all of a sudden you're like, why are all these people from Senegal liking my stuff? And you know, I had an issue, and of course, you contact Instagram. They're like, "We're gonna look into it. We're gonna look into it." never got resolved.
Yeah.
Never got resolved.
Thank you for your money.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna stop advertising with you guys, So luckily, I was able to figure it out with the help of my friend, who actually with Miguel, who kind of figured out a way around it to do a different type of advertising. But before that, we had to go back to the grassroots and go back to interacting more with the customers, making it more fun, making not just like, hey, here, buy my pen type post, it's like, hey, making the page more fun,
Yeah.
having people vote on different type of stuff and just the interaction. But what I noticed when we started doing that, people were interacting with the brands skyrocketed. And it made me feel good too, because I was like, oh shoot, people don't just like the pins, they like the brand, they like everything we're doing, So I was like, let's do it. So that really inspired me and helped me out even to get more hungry and do more stuff. And of course there are other people like, you probably see, like they said, Miguel from BB Create, Laser Brain, Lean Customs. I mean, these guys are nerd pins, these guys moving science, these guys are consistent too, and they're doing awesome stuff to these people. I look up to them.
That's awesome. I like that. Any brand that I hear directly connecting with their audience, I think is awesome. Very commendable. And that's what separates you. That's what gives you that authenticity, that realness. Like, okay, there's someone behind the brand, that cares about me and this conversation and like the meanings behind the pins and the products that they're releasing. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That keeps you going.
Yeah, and like I said, that's something to me that's a key thing, is making that connection with your, not just your customer but your fan. It's like another thing we're going to be working on soon is we're doing we're not just doing pins now, we're doing like we did this variant jacket. We got some girl stuff coming out. I've made some data shorts as well, so like
Yo.
so I got to make sure I send you a pair of these because these are almost gone.
Wow.
So we do shorts, we try to do a couple of different types of things, but what we're doing next is, we see other brands, not small brands, but big brands having, professional models and all this stuff. And to me, it's like, I want to get people that are just like me and you, regular people, so the next, when we we're going to do a photo shoot, and we're going to ask our customers who want to be part of the photo shoot. Because, I mean, those are the people that are buying our stuff, and that's the people who's going to be wearing the stuff.
Yep.
I mean, hey, I wish there was this big buff dude wearing my shirt, or a tall model, 7-foot model wearing my stuff, but it's in reality, it's me and you. It's the regular people wearing, the data stuff, the pin stuff,
Yeah.
and definitely that's another thing we're working on right now.
That's really cool. You're just keeping it real. And I think that's just going to resonate more because folks are going to be able to relate to it. Oh, that person's just like me, just like you.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So you alluded to, well, not alluded to, you actually said you had a team with social media. Does this team expand beyond social media? Like, do you have people like helping you with clothes, or it's just you and like this team? Just talk to me about that.
Yeah, basically, so I got a team that just helps me out with the socials, with Instagram specifically only. So we do that, and everything else, you're looking at the shipping department, you're looking at customer service, you're looking at getting the manufacturers straight, out, talking to China, talking to Pakistan, talking to whoever needs to talk to get the stuff done.
Yeah.
But, specifically because just finding that time, like you said, is very important, and I think right now on the socials, we need to make sure that our Instagram is basically where everybody's at the moment. I know I saw your last podcast that, another thing when you start working on is on TikTok, getting that squared away, because you never know. You said in your last podcast, there's like 10, 15 years from now, that might be the new Instagram, and we need to definitely not fall behind and be at that, be there in the beginning, say, hey, we were there in the beginning, guys, so hopefully we have, 50,000, 100,000 followers still, with us, because you never know. One day, hopefully not, Instagram might become MySpace or something,
For sure. I think it's pretty interesting because recently Instagram said that they're no longer a photo sharing app, they're a video sharing app.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, okay, we got to start making video content. Well, that's not like new news, I think we've all known that algorithms, regardless of what platform we're on, favor video. It's just like, okay, they're telling you like start making video content and then we'll show it on the. So I think that's just like a lot of people that get kind of caught up in maybe being afraid starting like a TikTok or starting any other social platform.
Yeah.
Like the transition should be pretty easy, you know, from Reels to TikTok. There's a bunch of similarities there, so hopefully it should be easy to make the jump.
We have to adapt, you know, and luckily do have a video person that helps me out. So that's already in the works, especially with the photo shoot we're going to be doing, and just try to make it more interactive and make it more fun. We had already a couple of videos, you know, that we've done. So, but we're just trying to, you know, expand on that. But like you said, that's probably where it's going, you know, and you know, and with this whole pin game or any, you know, any type of, you know, business that you're doing, you need to adapt, because if you don't adapt, you're gonna fail.
Yeah, for sure. Beyond pins, what are some other products that you're making, and what are your favorites?
I don't have them with me, but they'll be arriving next week. Doing some new shorts, but not the shorts I just showed you, but basically they're full color printed shorts. We have some, like, you can say Walt Disney type of shorts coming in. So those are kind of, you know, they're like basketball mesh shorts. So
Okay.
I'm really excited about that. But the one that we just released, that we sold out on, and we're getting some more hopefully soon. This is our variant jacket, and I'm so proud of this because, you know, people don't understand that, you know, they think it's just like, all right, cool, let's put something in there, let's just do it, and it's gonna come out. You know, I once again, just like a pin manufacturer, sometimes you're gonna get a pin, the enamel's gonna fall off, color's not right. So let me show you. This is the final product from one manufacturer, but what I had before that cost money to make is this. This was the first sketch from a different manufacturer. I mean, you guys can't probably tell, but the like little things in there that it wasn't done right. The
Mm-hmm.
color of the jacket is not right.
Yeah.
It's very thin compared to this one that 100% waterproof.
Wow.
You know, the buttons are just, trust me, there's nothing that's gonna take this jacket off of you. It's really high quality stuff, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I can see it.
Yeah, that's my, like, I gotta send one of those too. That's like my favorite project at the moment. But like I said, we have some shorts and we're expanding. You know, we love doing pins and shirts, but you know, we want to give, you know, our fans and consumers different type of products as well. You know, that you guys will be seeing in the next couple of months that we're working on. You know.
I think that's really cool. I think that's awesome. The jacket idea is cool. And I love whenever brands start branching out into just making other products. But it almost seems like it's like a natural thing to do nowadays for like a lot of these pin brands to start expanding beyond pins. Do you think that that's something a lot of pin brands should be thinking about? Should be on their radar?
It all depends how much you want to grow. You know, if you just want to do pins, then that's fine. You know, but eventually, I think if you want to grow as a brand, you definitely need to do other things. You know, just so people, you gotta keep, you know, consumers, like I said, just like Instagram, keep that interaction going and say, hey, you know, I'm not just gonna go to data to get a pin. He might have a dope shirt. He might have a cool jacket, shorts, you know, and just, you know, make it a one stop shop. We even have a keychain as well, you know. So we're just doing just different types of things, you know, to keep it up, and you know, doing stickers and everything that we can do. We got tote bags. What else do we have in the
You got a
works right
lot
now?
of stuff on your site. I remember scrolling through it. It's like, damn.
Yeah, man, and you know, it just takes time and money, of course, to
Yeah.
try to expand. And trust me, when I did those jackets, I was like, that's probably like the most money I've ever spent on one product. And I was just like, please sell, just please sell, you know. And I work with the talented artist called Kill the Giant, and you know, we did that together, and he's like, "That's good, man. It's gonna," and yeah, it did more than amazing. So we're really happy with, you know. But you know, the main thing is to do quality stuff. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, that's what's all about. You definitely don't want to be getting returns on, it's like, hey man, the button fell off, or this came off, or you know, I definitely don't want to be getting that type of stuff. You know.
No. Why did you decide to put variant on the back of the I like it.
It's a replica, you can say, of the Loki series when Loki goes into the TVA and he's a variant. So basically, you can say this is like his, yeah. Sorry. So basically,
My bad.
this is his jail uniform in a way.
Oh, okay.
Or like a visitor. So basically, he goes into this agency, right, and says, "All right, cool, you're gonna help us out catch the bad guy, right? But you need to put this jacket on so people don't think you're one of us. You are actually a variant." So that's what we decided to do, that jacket.
Oh shit. Okay.
So people in the low key Marvel MCU are, they're very huge fans of that type of stuff. And I'm really, like I said, I'm really proud how this came out, because there's another retail person that did something similar to it. That's very, of course, huge, and they weren't even close to it. And
Nice.
and I got that feedback from the customer, and they're like, "Hey, this is way better than the other stuff I bought." So
How about that?
yeah, I was like, thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay. That's dope, man. Good on you.
Yeah, that's what makes me, like I said, keep on going, and keep on, trying to do the best that we can.
Yeah. I have another like question formulating in my head right now, but I don't know how to ask it. But it has something to do. Here are my thoughts right now. Like you're, and it's not just you. I'd say like a good amount of pin makers tend to make products based off what is trending right now, especially with like hot shows, Stranger Things. Like I'm sure when Ninja Turtles comes out with a new movie, like in a couple years, like all that stuff is gonna like go crazy. And we're gonna see a lot of people making stuff. Do you find that that's like somewhat of an important strategy to try and adopt? Like, is that part of the growth or the success of data? Or are we relying a little bit more on just like focusing on your niche and serving that? Like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, like, to me, it's, I guess the first point I look at it as a brand is, I like to do stuff that I like.
Yeah.
So like Loki, we've been working on Loki for, I'm not gonna lie to you, 2 months or 3 months before the show even, 2 months before the show even dropped.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
because it's like, all right, we love Loki, so let's do it. But to me, if you're gonna do something like that, like you said, goes, Ninja Turtle comes out or Ghostbusters is coming out, you got to be ahead of the trend, because once again, how long does it take for us to get a pin? Sometimes if you don't have a good manufacturer, it's gonna take you a month. The show's over. The movie is already done. We're already on to Fast and Furious number 10 or 11 or Ghostbusters 10 or whatever. So you need to be ahead. But to me, it's like, it helps out, of course. If your brand's into, to a niche, and that stuff is coming out, then definitely do it. Do your own style, and just be ahead of the game. Because if you're not ahead of the game, you're, somebody else is gonna swap up. And I think that podcast I saw with Nice Pins, he's like, hey man, somebody already came out with 10 different baby Yodas or whatever. So it's like,
Yeah.
you need to definitely be ahead. But as a brand, to me especially, is do what you like. And if you're going to do something, do it right and do it in advance, because if not, you're going to be stuck. We're going to be having this conversation and say, hey, I got stuck with 100, I'm not saying this one, but you're going to be stuck with 100 baby Yodas or something. Luckily this hasn't sold, I sold a lot of these, but doing your own flip to it.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope that answers your questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, because well, I feel like it is kind of, I wouldn't say it's necessary, but when you can, definitely try and
Yeah.
lean in on these pop culture moments.
Yes, definitely.
They're like the hashtags and all that stuff, like it's popping. You're gonna see that
Mm-hmm.
stuff on the trending pages, and like there's so many new hashtags that you can like try and get visibility on and stuff like that.
Correct.
I've tried doing it, when the Michael Bay movies came out, like that's when we were doing a funny story actually. Warrior Pin started 2016, and I forget which Michael Bay movie came out. It might have been the second one that came out. There was a store out in California, and I can't remember the name, but they reached out to me because they wanted 100 pins to give away. They were doing like a release party or like some screening or something for the new Ninja Turtle movie. So they just ordered like 100 different Ninja Turtle pins from me. I'm like, oh shit, this is really cool. But it's like, okay, how else can I like make stuff based off the movie or complementary to the movie, or just try and lean in on that cultural moment? So I'd say when you can, definitely try and go for it. But I don't think it's necessary because like the hardcore fans and the collectors, they'll be looking for your stuff, you know.
Yeah, correct. No, I totally agree. Definitely on that point of view.
What's your favorite fandom to create pins for or product?
Like I said, I love the MCU stuff, but I think the Star Wars stuff, to be honest with you, I really,
Nice.
really enjoy. We started off, we did, it's actually a good series that we have going on right now. We did these Star Wars drink series. So that's our thing. Like we do these, like I did like two, right? And also I was like, hey, we can do different characters into different drinks. And all of a sudden, I think I'm up to 18 drinks or
Wow.
16 pins. Yeah, man. So it's just blew up. That's just mixing Star Wars and like I said, the pop culture is something that you like, and it blew up. But I definitely love talking about age. I feel old now, but since I was young and watching Star Wars and stuff like that, you just like it's always been a big interest of mine. But anything that's cool in pop culture is always definitely, and you can put your own twist to it. Is
Hmm.
definitely gratifying. But I guess Star Wars would be the second thing, and then MCU stuff. Would be definitely.
Nice. I like that. We're gonna have to talk about some sort of Ninja Turtle Star Wars collab because I can bring the heat when it comes to the turtles. I mean, I'm sure you can too, but Star
Definitely,
Wars,
man.
I gotta trust someone else with that. I watched the movies as a kid, but it just didn't stick like the turtles stick. Not many things stuck.
No, it's Ninja Turtles are dope. The reason I think I have done like actual Ninja Turtle stuff because it's got to be done right, you know. And if you don't do it right, you why do it? And you got to have so much respect for the Ninja Turtles that it's like that's why I do Rocksteady and Bebop because I feel like those guys
Dude,
like those I love to do. I'm working on Casey Jones and April Pin as well right now. So those will
nice.
be out. Those will be out soon, and kind of like the Neon series that we're doing. So you'll be getting those soon too as well.
I
So
like that. Yeah, though. Oh my goodness. All right, for anyone who doesn't know, Dad Carlos sent over a little care package, and it had the Rocksteady and Bebop pins. Oh my goodness, the neon styled with like a metal nickel finish, super reflective. Oh,
yeah,
they're clean. Definitely
here's the
cop
other one.
those.
Yeah,
Oh man, I was geeking out over them hard when I saw them.
sold out actually right now too. Right now we got some more coming in this week.
Dude,
You know,
congrats.
thank you, man. But see something like that, I was like, going back to like manufacturing, I was like, okay, I'll do this many. I think it's cool, and all of a sudden, going back to Instagram and stuff, that post of those two pins was the best organic post we ever had
Wow.
with no paid advertising or anything. We did paid advertising after, but I think we got between 1,000 or 2,000 organic likes, and that's pretty amazing with no paid advertising or anything like that.
Nowadays, yeah. How many followers do you have on Instagram?
I think we're a little bit over 18,000.
18,000. Damn, that's really good. That's really good. All things considered, organic.
Yeah, I was just amazed. No, it's funny because we're talking about organically. Even like we had a little contest going. What should we make Data's animal? So we're voting and doing this stuff. Pick Data's animal, right? There was one post that we did on the story that got close to 500,000 views
Whoa.
on animals. I was like, what? I'm like, why can't you guys give me 500,000 views on a you know? But it tells you it's really crazy. You got to be, different and just communicate with your base.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of wisdom and advice up until this point, but do you have anything that you'd like to say before we move on to marketing? Anything for any new pin makers out there? Just some parting words.
Be consistent, put out quality stuff, and just get ready to adapt. And like any business, it's hard in the beginning. I mean, it's still hard to me now. Not every pin's gonna be a sellout or what you expect it's gonna do. But if you prepare properly, you will succeed. Just be consistent and don't give up.
Yeah. I love that. I'll sign off on that for sure. So marketing, I'm curious because you've mentioned several times that you do paid marketing for Instagram. What's your just overall marketing strategy like? Is it 80% of your marketing budget going to Instagram, or are you experimenting on other stuff, Google Ads, email marketing? What's that like for you?
Right now, we are working on with the email. Eventually, we're gonna be getting just doing that right. So that's one thing that definitely I heard from a lot of other brands that's definitely a good plus. Making sure that email list still keeps there and keep it maintained, and definitely don't tire out your customer, but definitely that's a proactive thing to do. But personally myself, like I would say 95% or 99%, it's all going to Instagram.
Mm.
We do weekly, depending on what we're promoting, we'll promote it for like 6 days, and then renew it if it's doing well. But even with Instagram, it's once again you got to be patient. I see posts, I see people in chat saying, "I paid $5 in one day and I didn't get nothing." It's like, guys, it's not gonna work. It's not ordering a Big Mac. It takes time. It's 2, 3 days, 5 days. Give it time, and eventually it's gonna grow. But at the same time, too, it's like maybe $5 is not enough. Sometimes you gotta spend 10, maybe 15. But you have to be consistent and do your homework too. If something's not working, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a couple months when everybody started doing advertising with Instagram that I was probably, you can say in a way, wasting like maybe $300 to $500 a month on learning from experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe that entry doesn't work. I got to change it up. Let's do something else. Let's do this. Finally, you will get that what works for you, and then you continue on. But to me, if any advice would be, do automatic. If you have a decent following, do automatic advertising. As long as your advertisers is not sending your stuff to Senegal, as long as they're just making sure it goes to the right people, you should be fine. I guarantee you that you will see a growth in your audience.
Okay, nice. So I have a lot of history with marketing and running like Facebook ads and Instagram ads, like not only for Warrior Pins, but for other jobs and businesses. So I don't want to get like too into the weeds with that because like I could get lost in talking about specifics and whatnot. But are you doing your advertising through the Instagram app? Like, is that where you're doing it, or are you going into like the business, the Facebook business, and like setting up an ad through there?
Right now, I'm doing it through the app.
Okay.
I did go into it and I did do a couple of boosts because when I was having the issue that they were sending all that traffic, and I did notice that certain things were altered and were going to Senegal. So I did
So
look into
weird.
that. Yeah, and I did look into that, and like, but what I didn't like, and maybe you know more of this, is that when you do it through Facebook Business, through for Instagram, it's more of a boost. So the boost doesn't really send. Yeah, it helps people look at it, but I feel it doesn't help get people to your website or to your store to actually get that product. I felt like that was my issue. It's like, yeah, let me boost something, but like the pain aspect of it, of getting to that product's page and pressing a button to buy it was my issue with the Facebook business website.
Interesting. I'm just curious if you tried both and if one was better than the other. Because for the sake of time, it's just easier to pull up your best performing post organically,
Hmm.
maybe the most reach, and then advertise that one all through the Instagram platform. You don't have to leave, you don't have to go on the computer or anything like that.
Correct.
But I know you can get more specific going through like the Facebook business. So I haven't like really done a lot of A/B testing, but there are different objectives. So like your budget is spent mostly on just blasting it out to as many people as possible, and maybe not so much with like a specific call to action attached to it, whether it's clicking the link in the bio or giving them a follow or something like that. But just
Yeah.
interesting to like talk about. Again, I geek out on that, but I don't want to harp on that too much. Are you on any other platforms, or is it just like mostly all IG?
Yeah, Instagram, and like I said, we do have a data crew,
Tickety talk.
but tickety talk, but it's not really like we have a couple of videos that we've done of pins in there, but like I said, that's the next step that we're working on to, show more face, show more interaction, make the pins. We have a lot of stuff that, our video guy does a lot of interaction with their pins that, will make the collab I did with George. So make the collab, we'll make the bobblehead speak, do
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But I know, like, I feel like more TikTok is more like, the stuff like I see you doing sometimes is just like, just interacting with the customer, with your base, so that's something else we need to start definitely working on. But like I said, right now, I would say 99% it's all Instagram right now.
Nice. All right. So there's still hope for Instagram, folks. Don't give up on IG.
Yeah, you can, man. You gotta definitely do it. I was watching videos from Gary Vee saying, "Hey, spend money on Instagram. Spend, you gotta advertise. If you want people to see your stuff, you gotta spend money, guys.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not gonna be on Instagram all day interacting with your base."
Exactly. Yes. Better work smarter, not harder, and you do that through ads.
Yeah,
They're like virtual sales people
yeah.
for you. I want to ask, do you have any specific kind of strategies when it comes to releasing a product? I think we talked about this a little bit on the DMs, but we have people who will drop little hints of pins and
Hmm.
then just randomly throw it up. I've started just like previewing pins a few days before I'll actually throw them up on the website because I'll have them in hand and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Is this something you even think about?
Yeah, actually, we're next week release. I don't know when the podcast is gonna come out, so we're gonna be teasing this little one right here. So this
Okay.
is Pan Maze. This is a new part of the drink series that we're doing. That, like I said, Star Wars fans that are really into the drink series fans. These are number limited, but they're into this stuff. We'll tease it probably like on Tuesday and be like, "Hey guys, on Friday we'll be releasing this. It'll be available on the Pin Lab show on Saturday that I do with Miguel and Phil from Cool Electric." So we'll start teasing it a couple of days ahead, or even with the low key stuff. We were doing already like little teasers here and there, like, "Hey, this is what we're working on." I try to get videos of shirts that we're doing. So I'll show like a little silk screen of a t-shirt that's coming up, or sometimes depending on the factory that I use. Well, there's two factories I usually use consistently. The one that I've been using for a long time, they do a good pins, but their cameras are horrible. So I get horrible pictures. So my other one that does decent picture, that does really good pins, and they have better quality pictures, I'll mock it up a little bit. I'll have my friend Kill the Giant that helps out with all our artwork. He'll get it prepped up and say, "Hey, on Tuesday or Wednesday we'll start prepping that up," and to say, "Hey, on Friday," we're trying to get our base stuck in the memory that every Friday at 6 o'clock Pacific time, Data's going to release something. But if I don't release something on a Friday, I'm going to give you free shipping that weekend.
Ooh.
So that's our.
Damn.
So basically, if I don't come through for you guys, you get free shipping that weekend, whatever you guys want. So that's what we do.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So the main thing is stay consistent and definitely, like I said, just do a little preview, just give them a little taste.
Yeah.
Hooked up and they were like, "Let's see what Data's working on." So definitely recommend doing that.
For sure. And we were talking about like limited organic reach and stuff like that. So like posting it not all on the same day, but like staggering it throughout the week just to try and like maximize the organic reach as much as you can is definitely a big help. And when I started doing that, I found that the pins sold a little bit more and there was a little bit more hype behind that. So
Yeah, another thing I did this 2 weeks ago just to see what type of reaction to is, so we'll say, "Hey, we're releasing something every Friday at 6 o'clock." But a couple of weeks ago we decided to do something different. Yeah, we told everybody, "Hey, we're going to release something at 6 o'clock." But what we did is we released the pin early, and I just wanted to see how many people saw the story, saw the post, and say, "Hey, let's go to the website," you know. And there was a few that went on the website and copped all the pins that they needed to cop. And they're like, "Oh, we don't have to wait until 6 o'clock. This guy already posted them up." So but it's another thing, we want to see the interaction that that story is getting to our base and our fans and saying, "Hey, they're going to release something. Let's go check out their website."
mhm.
If you don't want to wait, go ahead and start buying the stuff. I'm not saying we're going to do it every Friday, but it was just a little test to try to see the interaction that we're getting with our consumer and our fans.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did the same thing too. 12 o'clock Eastern time for me, that's like when Instagram tells me that the most people are on.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'll drop it. But like I set up the store so that by the time 12 o'clock comes, so I can post about it, I'm able to tag the product because my Shopify account is linked to Instagram. So I'm able to tag the products and stuff. So I want to give it like a little bit of time so that I just make it effortlessly people to place the order for the new product. But someone did go to my website early and bought that. I'm like, oh, well, good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but that's good, because people are like excited and they want to go
Yeah.
check it out, so it's definitely a plus.
Nice. Talk to me about Pin Lab.
Okay.
I want to hear all about it.
All right. Well, once again, like we were at the beginning of the podcast, we're talking about adapting, right? So when COVID hit, as a brand, we were doing, we're steady. I was like maintaining, we're doing really good, and COVID hits, and you're like, what are we gonna do now? Sales dropped dramatically for a lot of people, and for that week alone, work was actually slow. And all of a sudden, I follow 3D Retro. They're the ones behind DesignerCon. So I see 3D Retro saying, hey, we're going to go on live, this new app that we're going to be selling stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, let me check it out. So I download the app and I check it out, and it's called Pop Shop Live, right? So I see 3D Retro selling bare bricks, selling vinyl toys, selling basically a lot of vinyl toys and bare bricks and artwork. And I'm all like, man, this is pretty cool. The interaction just gets you hooked, because let's say you're showing me a pin in the bag and say, hey, you want to buy this? I'm like, yeah, I love it. Let me press this button. It goes in my thing. And, it's a one-time shipping cost of $5.99. And I was like, so I just put it at the end of the show, I ended up buying like $150 worth of stuff that I probably didn't need. But I loved it so much that if it wasn't for this person saying yes, it would have not happened. So I call Phil, a good friend of mine. I call Phil, and I'm like, hey, Phil from Colectric. I'm like, hey, dude, I have an idea. What if we get a couple guys, out here on the West Coast to join us and do a show together, and we'll sell pins on this app. And I'm gonna check out the app. So he checks it out. He's like, that's pretty cool. He's all like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I was like, all right, cool. I hit up like 5 or 6 guys, and at the end, it was just me, Phil, and Miguel. And total success, man. We were the first pin show there on this Pop Shop Live. It wasn't called the Pin Lab in the beginning. We had a different name. So it was a long name. We're like, we got to shorten it out. It was called like Pin Flare Fanfare or something. So because we were just trying to get it out there and just try to do it, And then, so I got with Miguel and Phil, and we were like, it's called the Pin Lab. But, in the beginning, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for the Pin Lab and Pop Shop, I wouldn't be here right now, because I don't think I would have been able to maintain my sales for a while.
Wow.
Sales are just ridiculous because there's a lot of people in the pin community or just fans who go there and be like, we love pins, we love shirts, we love toys, we love all this stuff. And
really?
Yes. I mean, it's and just put it in a show, it's not like an hour. Like our first show was like, actually the first show was like 3 hours. It went from 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours just selling pins.
Wow. Because people were buying pins. You're like, let's another hour.
Yeah. So we will rotate. So it's like, all right, this is Data Brand session. All right, this is what I got. Here's Miguel. He's next. He's going to show you his 5-10 new pins or whatever he's got. We have a pin wall in the back. What do you guys want to see? Oh, you have that shirt? Okay, cool. Take a picture of it. Boom, sells it. What size you need? Extra large? All right, boom. You put it on there. Sold. So it's basically, imagine a, Patches of Pin Expo, a Patch Con or whatever, big old show, but we're doing it from a studio. We're actually doing it from my friend's office in the beginning.
Wow.
At the end, we're tired, like we just did a show, man. Because we were talking for 6 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I mean, that really, if you thought just talking to people on Instagram is one thing, but talking to customers, live, because it's cool because we're showing you this stuff. There's comments in the bottom. You can even go live with the customer. Somebody wins something, or we do like we in the beginning of the show, we do this thing called 5 for 5. Yeah, like in the beginning, we usually do a 5 for 5. So basically, Miguel, myself, and Phil will say, all right, guys, we'll start off the show. This new Loki pin, we're only going to have 5, and we're going to sell $5 each. And then we place it up and see who gets it. But now we even started doing this these emoji. I don't even have any, but emoji pin lab pins. So the first 50 people get that pin for free with the purchase. And then now they started collecting those because those are only limited to 100. So we
Wow.
just we try to make the show as fun, and we and I'm so glad that Miguel and Phil are part of this. Our interactions together, our chemistry works out really great, and people are not just bored. You don't want to just have me it's like, hey guys, here's my new pen. Here you go, buy it, please. We joke around, we have fun, we dance, we have jokes, and do whatever it takes. But it makes the fun show, and the Pen Lab, like it's a total success. We do it once a month now. In the beginning, we were doing it every 2 weeks, but it got tough because we all have families. We have even now it's tough because we do it once a month. But after the show, Miguel, Phil bring all their stuff, myself, and we pack everything together and get the orders out the next day. But we're talking about a couple hundred orders that we need to get rid of in 2 hours.
Wow. So that was one of my next questions. Like, what's the order quantity looking like for one of these things?
It could be anywhere between 100 to 200 orders.
Wow. And how many
Yeah,
people would you say are tuning in?
it could be anywhere between, because there's other shows happening on that app at that certain time that people pop in and out, but I think the most we ever got was like 800, 1,000 people on that app.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of eyes.
Yes. I mean, and sales, like I said, even to this day, it still helps all of us out. I mean, it's definitely worth it. We're really very happy to be associated with Pop Shop Live. They have a good platform and a good idea. I'm just happy that the guys are doing it. We're all doing it together, and we're able to get then we bring special guests. So we had like all these people that I mentioned, like Laser Brain, Lean. I mean, they have such a good following that, I mean, these guys break the Pop Shop thing sometimes, because they're like, hey, we only have 5 of these cars or 5 of these jelly beans, and it's like you just see lightning bolts. It's cool because people touch on this thing, they have lightning bolts. That means that you like the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see, you won't even see my face. You'll just see lightning bolts just going crazy, or orders. So every time somebody purchases something, it just goes crazy, man. So it just, we've had certain pins that sell out in seconds. Like 50 pins sell out in less than a minute.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, it's definitely a different. We had to adapt, and luckily, like I said, the guy said yes, and we were able to survive. The whole COVID situation because we couldn't do shows. That week we're supposed to do Patches and Pin Expo over here in Orange County, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like man, that helps us out a lot too. And we couldn't do it, and luckily we were able to come together and do this Pin Lab show. So anybody out there, Pin Lab show on Pop Shop Live, definitely download the app and check it out. You won't be bored.
That's what's up. My last question about the Pin Lab show. Like, what are you talking about? Are you just like holding up like your product and you're just kind of like explaining it, the origin story behind it, how it's made, or
Like, okay, like the one I told you right now. So like this, right? So this, we're so thankful. Like I said, our following is very faithful. So we have a lot of people that are, we do get new followers and stuff like that. But people that are already following us, it's like, hey guys, we had already, we have the Pin Lab Instagram page already. So we're already teasing stuff like, hey guys, this is going to be available on Saturday at noon Pacific time. So if you want to get it, be on there. So they'll already be like, hey guys, this is coming out. But we've got so much product now that now in the beginning of the show, we just release most of it now. That way people are not waiting. But so to your point, it's like, so we'll be like, hey guys, so we decided to do a low-key series, or we do a Star Wars thing, or Phil likes to do a lot of Disney stuff, so like inspired stuff. So we say, this is what inspired Phil to do this, or this is what inspired me to do this. Check out the quality, if you have any questions, try to make it as interactive as we can with the consumer. People basically, if they see it like close to them and they see it's a good quality pin and they love it, they're just gonna purchase it.
yeah.
Sometimes it's so like, if you have good quality stuff, it's self-explanatory. When we bring special guests, definitely Miguel and Phil, they're the ones in front of the camera most of the time. I like to be in the back, to be honest with you, and I'm in charge of the music, making sure everything is running. All the technical stuff is running good. But they'll interview the customer, the special guest, and be like, yeah, what inspired you? What's the story behind it? What stuff you have coming in the future? Excellent questions like Miguel's a very good interview, Phil as well. Just, questions like you ask, it's just a lot of stuff one by one. So we have a little segment between 15 or 30 minutes with that special guest, and we get in depth with them and, try to get them more sales and at the same time, getting more people to follow them. And most of our special guests have their own pop shop show now.
Yeah. Oh, shit. All right. I got to check this out.
Yeah, we're gonna be on Saturday at noon, so definitely, so you can see all our craziness and stuff that we gone. In the beginning, it was called the Pin Lab Show, so Phil got some doctor's coats on, so we put the doctor's coats on, and we were like, hey, what's up? Welcome to the Pin Lab, guys. And let's go, let's have some fun.
Oh shit, that's funny.
But we just like to joke around. We try to stay on top of the comments and it's very interactive, so it's fun, man, and make things fun. People are gonna watch you, and if they like your stuff, they're gonna buy it.
Yeah, that's dope. Best of luck with you guys. That's awesome that you started this. Like, I've been meaning to catch a show, but it's just tough for me, just being on the opposite coast and like.
Trust me, it's hard. In the beginning, it's really hard because, let's be honest, how many more apps do we need?
That was the other thing too. Yeah, what is this app that I'm downloading?
So it's called Pop Shop Live, and it's you can see it's green and I think it has a lightning bolt on it. But even trying to get somebody to download that app, that's like the hardest thing we have. Yeah, there it is. Right. Yep. So that's what you guys need to get that, but just trying to get the customer to download that. Use a special code called PinPal. That's our code, PinPal. So nice. You can go to, so that goes into our, basically it tells Pop Shop that, hey, they want to see the Pin Lab show. So it gets you access to us. But that was the hardest thing in the beginning. It's like, how are we going to get people to download this app? Mm-hmm. Luckily, yeah, we're going through COVID. So people are at home and probably be like, well, we're home. We're not going to go anywhere. Just download this app. But that's always the hardest thing, is trying to get everybody to download that app, But as soon as you get that, over that hump, and Pop Shop helps you to really, really promote. They promote the show, promote everybody's show, and just, they're really, really good, strong company behind us.
That's really cool. Awesome. Well, anyone listening, make sure you download it, because it sounds like you're going to get really good deals. You're going to find more pins. Think of it as attending a show. So like you could probably hop on a Pop Shop Live show. I'm still figuring out the lingo while you're actually out of patches and pins. So you're just like, pins.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's cool because people like, hey, at the shows, I know sometimes you give a deal like 2 shirts for $40. Would you do it here? Yeah, let me know what shirt you want. Let's do it. Or like, hey, I want all these, what can you guys do if we get 5 pins or 10 pins or whatever? We'll make something happen. But at the same time, what I really like about it is like, you're getting, when we have a special guest, you're getting stuff from 4 different brands. You're only paying $5.99 for shipping. One-time fee only. And it's priority mail. So you're getting that stuff right away, especially if we're getting that stuff ready, one day, the next day, that stuff's already out the door. But you're basically getting free shipping and getting 3-4 different brands. If you're ordering from 3 or 4 different vendors, that's going to be $20-$25 worth of shipping cost that you're already saving. And you're having a good time at the same time,
Yeah. Damn. That's dope. That's cool. I got to check that out. We got to get me on one day.
Yes. No. Definitely, man. Definitely.
All right, man. So we're running a little long. I got a couple brief questions that I want to ask you, and we can wrap this bad boy up. What is your favorite type of enamel pin to make?
Hard enamel, black dye, definitely is the it just brings out the I don't know. It's just that black dye is just, I love it, to be honest with you. But lately it's been, honestly, like, I love stuff like this stuff. I like the whole bronze 3D. Like, I love that stuff. I wish I could make every pin like that, but of course not, we can't. But but definitely I love that type of stuff. But hard dye.
That's the skull with the camera, right? That's hard enamel black dye, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean.
Yeah.
Clean. You can't go wrong. When in doubt, black dye.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think I know the answer to this next one. Soft enamel or hard enamel?
hard enamel. In the beginning, I was really, really soft enamel guy, to be honest, because we had like I did a Dave Chappelle cold-blooded pin, and I needed to get that details in there, and the soft enamel did the job, man.
Yeah.
You know, it had his dreads and a little red, and it was just like I love soft enamel. But now, yeah, I'm a hard enamel guy.
Okay. Nice. Stickers or patches?
We do both, but I think I'm gonna say stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, just stickers are just, oh, man, like it's, showed you, like, this is our logo. We got some stuff here. This is something that we gave away for the Pitches and Panic Pitches Expo, Patches Expo, and at certain orders in the beginning got this. We decided to collaborate with Sticker Robot, and we did this cool little sticker.
That's cool. Yeah, I think I actually got that. I think you sent that my way.
Okay, cool, man.
I love it.
So, we definitely love stickers, man. Sticker game strong here.
Yeah, I noticed that because the back of your stickers, the part that everyone throws away, you had like stuff on it. Like you had like the logo or the website. And I thought that was really cool. So that stood out.
Yeah, the new one has, if whoever gets a new one, it's gonna have some special stuff on the back. So if you post it somewhere, you take a picture of it, you get a special discount. So we're doing a lot of stuff. Oh, there's another one that I love, the little new Drake popsicle. There you go. So yeah, so definitely stickers, man.
Where's your favorite place to rock a pin?
Where's that? Hat. Definitely side of the hat for sure. It's been, if I do wear a denim jacket, but it's been so hot over here lately, man. I don't think I'm ever gonna wear a denim jacket here ever. It's just so hot, man. Like it's hard to, honestly, I'll be honest, sometimes I wear my uniform, but most of the time it's just always the hat.
Me too. It's always the hat, but every time we have that conversation, like I'm just not prepared for anything on this hat. Like I should have just thrown something, one of you, like the guest pins on here in the future. Future Eric, when you're listening to this, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
I would say Michelangelo.
Okay.
I'm between Michelangelo and Donatello, to be honest with you.
Because you can relate to both of them.
Yeah, I like them both. Those are the two that I'm in love with. But yeah, now that it's a definitely, I grew up in the '80s, and I love definitely Ninja Turtles, man. Like I said, I can't wait for you to see the new 2 neon pins that we're doing, the April and the Jones. It's gonna be amazing.
I can't wait, man. If you need pictures, if you need a model, if you need a denim jacket,
got you, man.
I'm a little ways away, but I'm here for you. I'm here for you. All right, so I like to end the podcast with this infamous question. Not so much infamous, but what are the little things in life for you?
Man, Eric, we live in a crazy world, man. Every day it seems like, things are getting crazier. So honestly, just making it day by day, waking up and breathing and have your loved ones next to you, I think it's good enough for me, man, because it's like, it's a tough world out there, man.
Yeah.
I know this is a short podcast, but if I can tell you stories that I hear every day. Work in LA. I'm not saying LA, LA's beautiful, man, but you see a lot of stuff happening, just not in LA, but across our this beautiful country that you're like, dude. So I'm just happy I make it one day, man, just breathe and I'm just happy that my family, I have beautiful wife, I have good friends, that they're really, and this community that we have, this is what keeps me going and keeps, working 9 to 5, man. It's, sometimes it's cool, it pays the bills, but doing something that you really, really enjoy after.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes it all grateful,
I like that. That's another great wholesome answer to add to like the collection of just guests responding to this. It's just, that's so awesome. And I can relate to all of that, but what resonated with me the most is just being part of a community, just I'm in it knee deep right now. Like I'm just all about it. And this podcast and being able to talk to folks, like at the end of every episode, I just feel re-inspired to get out there and make sure that like I'm doing it. Like all these people, they're doing it. They're putting in the work, and it goes beyond that. Just being part of a community where we're all just come together for the love of just such a small little thing. Like it's just all really cool. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, man. Especially when we were out there doing shows and you go from young to a 60-year-old, 50-year-old
Yeah.
person buying a pin. I'm like, hi, how you doing? Oh yeah, I love that pin. I was like, all right, sweet.
Yeah.
Welcome to the pin game.
Welcome to
It's
the
like,
club. I love it.
it's cool, man. So definitely love that.
That's what's up. Well, Carlos, you made it to the end of Pin
Yeah.
Pals. Congratulations. Hope you feel all right. Hope you're not too winded.
No, and I want to thank you, Eric, for doing this. It's definitely, and inspires me, and I know it inspires a lot of other people getting all this information and finding out this whole pin world game that we're all involved in. But thank you for your professionalism, your great questions, and trust me, I don't miss an episode. I hear them or watch them on YouTube, and I recommend everybody doing the same. It's definitely inspiring and knowledgeable, especially if you want to get into pin making or any accessory type of manufacturing accessories or t-shirts or whatever you guys want to do. But definitely, Eric, you're doing a great job, and Data is happy to be part of it.
I appreciate that, Carlos. That means a lot. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you the floor. Feel free to tell the listeners where they can find more Data Crew stuff at. If you have any shout outs, go for it, man. Mic is yours.
Thank you, Eric. We're at data_crew. So if you guys want to find us on Instagram, same thing on TikTok. Our website is datacrew.la. If you want to find us on the web, it's a new thing. and thank my wife for being very understanding and helping me out as well with this adventure. I want to thank Kill the Giant, who talk about inspiring people. He really pushes me every day too and helps us out a lot with our artwork. We do a lot of collabs with him, so I want to thank him a lot for helping us out. My printer as well, and that Cuellar family, who's been through a lot this year, and they always come through for us with our silk screen t-shirts. I want to thank them. And yeah, man, Patch Game, known Patch Game for a long time. I want to thank, he's been very inspiring as well, help us out, Pin Lord, and and all these amazing brands, like when I talk to Joe from Nerd Pins, or Miguel, or Phil, Move in Silence, these guys are very inspiring, and then always been nice to me, even before I knew I was really a pin maker. Always nice, and I appreciate them, and definitely want to thank them.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Lots of, man, just this pin community. If we could all just like simultaneously like hug each other, I bet it feels so warm and comforting. It's a nice community to be part of.
No, it's amazing stuff, man, and definitely, like I said, if to be part of it, I think it's an honor, and we should be grateful that we have that, because not every business is like that.
No, yeah, facts. You are right about that. Well, Carlos, thank you so much for your time and your expertise and your knowledge and just all the advice. Again, I feel inspired, and I hope anyone listening or watching to this, they feel the same. If you do, feel free to leave comments or like or follow. Definitely check out Data. All the links, all that stuff will be in the show notes. Again, Carlos, thank you for your time. I hope you have an enjoyable rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode with Data Crew. If you were taking notes, it's probably a couple pages worth of notes, because Carlos was just, again, bringing that heat, bringing all that knowledge and that wisdom he's gained from being a veteran pin maker. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So I want to let you guys know that we're currently taking submissions to be on season 3. We only have a limited number of spots, but if you want to talk pins on the show, go ahead and email me a bio, your shop links, and any other relevant information to thepinpalspodcast at gmail.com. You can also send me a DM on Instagram at pinpalspodcast, but I think email is preferred just so I can keep everything organized. If you're looking to become a sponsor on the show, don't hesitate to reach out. We're really looking to make season 3 the best we can, and I really think, things can be elevated through sponsors. So if you're like a print shop, a pin middleman or manufacturer. Maybe you're someone who runs markets, expos, or events. Maybe you're a graphic designer willing to offer pin design services. Whoever, please get in touch. We're building something awesome for the pin community. So if you can provide value, if you can provide entertainment, if you can provide just anything for the pin community, please get in touch. Would love to talk sponsorships with you guys. As always, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're following the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and everywhere else you can get the podcast to stay up to date for news on Season 3. Yes, Season 3 is coming. Probably just follow our Instagram page and you'll know firsthand when Season 3 drops. If you ever feel like supporting the podcast, you can do so by quote-unquote buying us some pins or subscribing to one of our monthly tiers on Buy Me a Coffee. That link is in the show notes. Until then, I've been your host, Eric Roman from Warrior Pins. Stay safe, love one another, be kind, be happy, and remember, it's the little things in life. Peace.